And now moving on to the last game, us being Bengal fans, Sunday, 8:15, baby. Fucking, we get to watch Joe Shiesty get it on again, man. I just want to go real quick through this. Let's just do scores. I'm just going to say mine real quick. Wallet, you say yours, then Jack, you say yours, and then we can fucking kind of dig into that a little bit. Might do a whole separate section, which is the Bengals talk. So I got 27-19 Bengals.
All right, so I've got 31-21 Bengals.
Yeah, Jack.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go 35-14 Bengals.
Love it.
35-14. Okay, so Jack's got him putting it on him a little bit. I did want to comment a little bit about this game. Last week, it was the same exact game. We played the Ravens last game of the season, coming off of that fucking emotional shit that happened with the Bills. Had to go into a coin flip or whatever. Bengals looked really bad last week, or at least offensively. Defense played really well. Now, a lot of people around the city and stuff are a little bit scared. We're playing a division team twice in a row. And our offense wasn't looking real good, but I don't think that a lot of people were really understanding or conceptualizing the fact that like the Bengals offense was using like a quarter of their playbook or whatever. They really were not running the offenses that they do. Now, I don't think that that's necessarily something that's going to like just make us put it on them. It's still a division game. The Ravens still got a good defense. Lamar is not playing. I don't think Huntley's playing, but I think their defense is going to be able to slow us down. And with their fucking all-star kicker that the Ravens have, I think that they'll still be able to get to midfield and fucking kick a couple of field goals in. So I think it still stays close. And the Bengals, they haven't really blown anybody out all year, except for the Falcons and Carolina, but that is what it is. So, yeah, you guys have any comments on the Bengals and Ravens from last week or this week? Or just how we will play in the playoffs?
I mean, I think that, especially after last week, I consider it more of a tune-up game for both teams. They're not going to come out and show what they got. We're not going to just go into fifth gear. But unless they're able to get into Chase's head, which is possible, I know him and Roquan Smith were chirping a little bit. I don't think their defense is ready at all.
Is Higgins playing?
Yeah, apparently he's playing.
Higgins
he's getting ready today. Okay. Yep.
And I don't think their defense is ready at all. I don't think their offense stands a chance once we really get going. If we come out and choose to receive like we do and hang up a touchdown on them and then come right back and hang up another touchdown on them, I mean, it could get ugly quick.
Yeah, the only thing that I have to say about that is, we're not really a two-half team. There's been very limited games that have been like that we've played fucking the full game. It's always been, usually we're a second-half team, but sometimes we come out heavy in the first, and that's like the Patriots game was a good example. We got ahead really, and Baltimore game. We got ahead in the first half, and then we kind of lost it in the second. Offensively, stopping their defense, Kappa's a huge issue, and I don't know if they actually said what. Do you guys know what actually happened to him?
No, but I know I know our offensive line. I mean, he's out for the game.
I think that he might be out.
I think he's out for the rest of the season. To be honest with you,
I think he might be out for the rest of the season too. And like that's a big role player on our line protecting Joe, and that's a big loss. So I could definitely see that affecting us against some of the better defenses. And if we win, it's looking like we're going to play the Bills, and that's going to be a tough defense to play too. But yeah, it's just. The injuries have added up. The Ravens have a lot of injuries too. So
they do.
Yeah,
I think they're reeling from a lot more injuries than what we are.
Yeah.
Okay. They've got a lot more. They've got a lot more stardom, or star power that is going to be on that bench.
Yeah.
For this game than what we do, and we have Joe Burrow. I mean, I look at that even if we got a couple of because Lael Collins obviously isn't playing. Yeah. So if we got a couple of O linemen, to me it's next man up.
Yeah.
Right. It has to be. It's next man up.
Yeah.
And we have Joe Burrow, and the confidence that man it just embodies.
Yeah, and instills in his team for real.
And I was just gonna say that goes into the mindset, and that really just kind of plays a part in the mindset of the rest of the team, especially on offense. Mm-hmm. But like last year, if you ever heard any of the guys talking after the season, they're like he would go into the huddle after being sacked. I don't care if it was a couple of times in a row, whatever. He'd go in the huddle and it was, next play.
Yeah,
he wouldn't he wouldn't get upset. He wouldn't throw anyone under the bus. He wouldn't yell, scream, anything. It was next play. Let's keep it going.
Right.
And that kind of mindset, I think, with that Ravens defense not being, I think, prepared for this game, or at least definitely not at 100%, regardless. I think that speaks volumes to this Bengals team,
Right.
and our organization, and I think that's what is going to propel us. That mindset is what's going to propel us into the playoffs for a long time.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So, and do you think that by any chance, last week, like I said, our defense was playing good. Do you think that, Harbaugh might have seen some shit last week and we might have issues containing them because they've got some schemes to go against what they saw last week? You think our defense will struggle at all in that game?
No, I think we'll step up. In fact, I think we'll be a lot better in a better position defensively this week than we were last week.
Yeah. Okay.
I agree. I think they're going to come out and be like, throw it on us. Prove that you can throw it on us.
Yep.
That's it. I think that's what they're going to do. I know we like to play nickel, and I love it because we got the personnel to do it.
We do.
Mike Hilton's that motherfucker.
Yep.
Yeah. We're gonna try to stop the run, and I bet we will. Yep. And we're probably going to force some turnovers, so we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah. Our secondary is playing really well this year. Very well this year. Yeah. And I think with a backup quarterback, whether it's Huntley or their third string, I think there's no way they're going to be able to throw the ball against us. No. And our front line should take care of our the run game.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they're not going to be. I don't think that they're going to be able to pass the ball. Now, maybe they'll be able to with some success in like the first half or something because we're just not ready for it. Because we know that they're going to run the ball. I mean, what's their fucking running back's name?
J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah. He's had fucking like the best last half the season or whatever in the entire NFL.
He was injured. I think he's only played the last. Yeah, he was injured. He's only played the last three. Now he's playing this game. I'm saying he was injured. He just came back like the last 3 games, 3 or 4 games.
It was something like the last 3 or 4 games that he was playing. He was like had the best of those 3 or 4 games in the entire league. So.
Oh yeah, he was doing well.
Yeah,
but I think we'll be prepared as a defense, and our guys up front will take care of that. They're going to want to because they're going to want to force whoever their quarterback is to throw the ball.
For sure. It's a division game, and we have to play them 2 weeks in a row, which is scary, but I am more confident going into this game than I was last year against the Raiders for the first round of the playoffs, for sure.
Easily.
For sure.
Easily.
Yeah.
The only thing that scares me is because now I have high expectations. Right. I didn't have it. You know what I mean? Like, we were underdogs last year, so it's like going into that game, it was like, man.
And the Bengals have been known to choke, especially in prime time, and this is a primetime game, Sunday night division game in the first round of the playoffs against the Ravens. But I think that the past 2 years we've really shown that we've overcome that.
Yes.
Even the Buffalo game, which was the big Monday night game that happened, it looked like we were about ready to put up a 14-3 score coming out of the gate strong on that game.
Yep.
And it's so surprising to see this fucking Bengals team now, man. Like they're just so much better than anything that we've seen in our lifetimes from the fucking Bengals, man.
And that's what Jack said. Like, if those guys can come out early, if we get the ball and they come out early like they did in that Bills game, I was like, whoa, they just went down seamlessly and scored a touchdown. And it just felt so like this is that's what I'm saying. Joe Burrow's mindset. It's like, this is what we expect to do. Mm-hmm. It's not that this is what we want to do and this is what we need to do. This is what we expect to do. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the difference with this team versus definitely the team last year.
Yeah, for sure. You got any closing comments there, Jack, about the Bengals?
No, man. Hey, Houday, I'm ready for it. If you guys want to, I'm going to go ahead and just make a full prediction real quick. I'm going to go. Obviously we made these picks.
Yeah, I was real quick before you do that, because I was going to start getting into like the whole playoff, and I have this interactive playoff thing picking up, but whenever I click on it, it fucking goes off the screen that we're recording on, so I can't actually have the picks, but we can still go through and do the whole mock playoffs. I was going to do it. I was going to do it. I was going to do it round by round. Is that what you were getting ready to do?
Yeah. I was just gonna go through. I got a prediction I'm ready to make. I got hot last year in the playoffs, and I almost picked it. Just so y'all know, I picked the Bengals to win the game. I think it was 23-16, and we ended up losing 23-20 or something like that. Something like that. I don't know. But I picked the exact score and was so close if we would have went down and kicked the field goal, but instead Cooper Kupp went down and caught that touchdown, and you all know what happened.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so just do the one side. You can go ahead and do it. Do the next round, and then we'll have everyone else's picks, and then we'll do the conference championships and stuff like that. So go for it.
Okay. Well, after the Jags beat the Chargers, they're obviously going to be facing the Chiefs. As much as I like the Jags and what they're doing, they're not ready for the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes is the Grim Reaper, and Andy Reid is that motherfucker. I think they win that. I think we beat the Bills. Mm-hmm. I know it's going to be a high-octane game, but
in Buffalo?
I trust Burrow over Allen. I just straight up do. Mm-hmm. I trust him over Allen. And then, so I'll leave that there for the AFC. In the NFC, that would put the
Giants.
Yeah, the Giants versus the Eagles. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Giants versus the Eagles, yeah.
Yes, yeah, Giants versus Eagles, and then Niners versus Tampa Bay for what I picked. Okay, yeah. Yeah, and that's just going to be I got the Eagles beating them and the Niners beating the Buccaneers.
Yep. All right, Mike, you want to take us through the next round of the playoffs?
So, yeah, I have the Chargers losing to the Kansas City Chiefs. The Kansas City Chiefs are fantastic. I mean, that's Patrick Mahomes, that offense. They've got so many different schemes that they run that are just amazing. How that quarterback, that system, Andy Reid. I mean, they just gel so well together. I have the Bengals beating the Bills. Like what Jack said, I think we'll be prepared for that game. Mm-hmm. And I think that it'll be very similar to how we came into that the game that we were playing them in Week 17. We kind of come down the field, score seamlessly, and I think that's our mindset for that game, and I think that's our mindset for the playoffs. So the NFC, remind me, I know I had Dallas winning against Tampa Bay, and I had the Vikings beating the Giants. That's my next game there would be the Vikings.
Did you take the Seahawks or did you take the San Francisco?
I did not. I took yes. Actually, no, I'm sorry. I took San Francisco.
Yeah.
So they would be.
So you should have Cowboys versus Eagles and Vikings versus Niners, I think.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. So I actually have the Vikings beating the Niners, and I have the Eagles beating the Cowboys.
Okay.
Interesting. Okay, so I'm going to start on the NFC side of things. I've got the Giants coming in and playing the Eagles. I think that the Eagles are just they're a hot team this year. They got the best record in football. I think that there's going to be a little bit too much for the Giants to handle. So I'm going to take the Eagles to the conference championship in that. Then I have the Bucks versus the fucking Bucks versus the 49ers. Again, I think the 49ers are just way too good this year. I think that they're one of the scariest teams and I don't think that they're not Joe Burrow. I don't think Brady's going to be able to compete with them at all. To be honest with you, I was just joking about that before. I think the Cowboys are going to beat the Bucks, but either way, I think San Francisco is going to run through the NFC pretty handily. They might have some competition against the Eagles. Other side of things, I had Kansas City and the Chargers, and Kansas City went 6-0, and the Chargers have played them close both times that they played them. I thought that they might sneak up on them and get a win there. Originally, I had them, but Mahomes is just having a fucking all-star year, man, and it's at Arrowhead Stadium. So at the end of the day, I don't think that I could take them. Then we got the Bengals and the Bills, and this is interesting because. The Bengals are my team, man, and I think that they're fucking the hottest team in football. I think that they are the best team next to San Francisco, but I think a lot of factors come in. I think that, going into Buffalo, that's a hostile place to play. It could be really cold, and I don't know if the Bengals have necessarily been tested the way that the Bills have. I honestly think that the Bills might take that game at home. I wish that we might have had it at Paycor. And in that case, I probably would have taken the Bengals. I think that's going to be a fucking really, really close game. But I think I'm going to end up taking the Bills over the Bengals in that one.
I can't blame you for picking that.
Yeah.
I can't blame you for making that pick.
No, I don't think many people are going to be too mad about that. Also you have the fucking Hamlin thing that happened, so it's going to be a real emotional game. I think that could work out in our favor, though. I think that we're pissed off that whole situation happened, and we didn't have a chance to even play for second. So that was by far the toughest one that I had to pick, but I think I'm going to end up going with the Bills in that one, man.
Yep.
Yeah. So moving on, we're going to go to the conference championships. We'll take that back to Jack.
Right. Well, I would have the Bengals playing the Chiefs. The Chiefs don't want it. The Chiefs, we're in their heads. We're in Kelsey's head. We're in Mahomes' head. They cannot figure us out on offense. They can't figure us out on defense in the second half. I got us beating them again. 4 straight.
Yeah, that's wild, man. Fucking 4 straight against Kansas City in almost like one calendar year. That's
setting a standard, bro.
Yeah.
Setting a standard in the AFC. I'm saying we beat the Bills and then the Chiefs like that. It's going to be a fun,
I will say this. Even though I took the Bills in that game over the Bengals, I'm still going to be pulling for the Bengals. I think next year will be our year. I think that even if we don't play Kansas City, we play them at Kansas City next year, and we're probably going to lose that game, and then I think we're going to be ready to take teams down in the fucking playoffs next year. I think next year's our year, y'all, for sure. But continue.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I got them beating them. They're going to represent us in the ship again. And as far as the NFC, Niners versus Eagles, if this was 7 weeks ago, it would have been a tougher call. But, man, I don't trust Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, even though he's going off. But I trust Kyle Shanahan and that offense and Christian McCaffrey and Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk and George Kittle. And that defense is freaks on every level. And Jalen Hurts is not 100%. Clearly. Sorry. Yeah. I think the Niners are going to beat them even in Philadelphia. I think they might beat them by 10 points. And I think it's going to be a Niners-Bengals Super Bowl again.
Okay.
Wow. That would actually be sweet. I wouldn't mind seeing that. I wouldn't mind seeing that at all.
It almost happened last year, too.
Yeah, I know. I was just going to say.
I'll tell you what, that's going to add a fucking extra layer of hype if we play San Francisco. No way we lose to them fucking 3 times in a Super Bowl.
Nope. Gosh, no.
No way.
They're the scariest team to me. They
are.
Have the defense to fuck us
They
up.
are, but fucking, you're talking about a team that was in the Super Bowl last year with the Bengals that has been fucking kind of put down all year by all the commentators and analysts. Something was a team with a chip on their shoulder, something to prove. If they fucking come in and they fucking go into Buffalo and beat Buffalo, and then they go into Arrowhead and fucking beat them, and then they go into Super Bowl to play fucking San Francisco again in their third play or our 4th Super Bowl, 3 out of our 4 against San Francisco. That'd just be, dude. That's like destiny. It has to be. And fucking, I can't see us losing that game.
No, God, I was just gonna say that would actually probably be what the Bengals would hope for.
Right. Yeah, but continue on with your conference championships, Wallet.
All right, so I actually have the Eagles beating the Vikings. I do like that team. I think they know that they've been one of the better teams in the NFL all year, and I think they continue to ride that mentality and that mindset into the Super Bowl. And then I hate saying this, okay, but I think the Chiefs are going to beat the Bengals. And honestly, the Bengals have a tough road to get to the Super Bowl again. Okay. If it plays out like what we're discussing. But I think the Chiefs have the Bengals number this year. And I don't think we could do it a fourth straight time. And I have the Chiefs playing the Eagles in the Super Bowl.
Yep. Yeah. That's a tough one. All right. So for conference, I've got the Eagles versus the Niners. I just think that, like I said, the Niners are a really, really good team this year. I think front to back, except for their quarterback, they're fucking a goddamn all-star team. Shanahan's a fucking hell of a coach and shit. Fucking, it's just the thing about the Eagles. I think they're good, but they really haven't played anybody all year, and fucking that's scary to me. like he said before, Hurts is he's injured, and I just don't think that he can get it done against the 49ers. I think that one's a relatively close game. I think, like Jack said, I could easily see it being like a 10-point game or something like that. I'll say like a touchdown probably, but I'm going to take the 49ers to the Super Bowl. On the other side, I have what is looking to shape up to be that fucking like Patriots, Colts, Manning, Brady rivalry between fucking Allen and fucking Mahomes, Chiefs, and Bills for the AFC Championship. It's going to be on a neutral site if that's the case, and I think that gives the Buffalo Bills a little bit of the edge. I don't think that the Chiefs are as good as everyone makes them out to be. I think that Mahomes is having an all-star year. Maybe you call it the MVP curse because he's probably going to get the MVP. I'm going to take the Bills in that one, and I got Bills in San Francisco in the Super Bowl. And then I'll just kind of keep it rolling with that. I got the San Francisco Niners versus the Buffalo Bills. I think the Bills are just fucking playing different type of ball. I really like them. I like their attitude. I think that they're that team with the chip on their shoulder, kind of like the Bengals, even though they have at this point kind of proven themselves. I'm taking a very close Super Bowl, but I'm giving it to the Bills.
Got it.
Yeah. Who you got in the Super Bowl, Mike?
So I've got the Kansas City Chiefs winning it all. I just think they're. I mean, they've been there so many times in the last 3-4 years. I'm not saying the Super Bowl necessarily. I'm saying they've just been that team.
Yeah.
Okay, and they've been so close last year, obviously against the Bengals. But I mean, they've been in the Super Bowl, and I just think they've got the team, the mentality, and just kind of riding in that. I think they're riding that wave of him still being and that team still being the best team in football. Yeah. So I have them winning it all.
Yeah, the Chiefs are starting to look, and they're getting a lot of talk about like Mahomes being the new Brady and fucking the Chiefs being that new like Patriots era like dynasty and stuff like that. And I can definitely see that they are that good. They have to they have to do some stuff to get there. They haven't necessarily proven that yet, but it's definitely not a bad pick, Mike. Definitely.
But I think I think out of those teams, they have the best opportunity to prove it.
For sure, and they have the most experience on the team that they have. So
correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
For sure. Jack?
Yeah, touching on that before I move forward, the thing about it, like Mahomes is a freak. That dude, he's Houdini, the Grim Reaper. Like Andy Reid called him, go be the Grim Reaper. Like what he can do as a quarterback, making the plays that he does, just like whatever, sidearm, no look, underhand.
It's
crazy.
Yeah. It's a damn shame because Chiefs fans are starting to be those fucking obnoxious Patriot-esque fucking Steeler-esque fan base and stuff like that, and I'm starting to hate the fucking Chiefs even though I liked them, but like I love Mahomes. I think he's a fucking great quarterback.
He's amazing, and he's going to be awesome, but the difference to me is outside of Chris Jones, their defense is trash. Mm-hmm. The defense is not good. It's not like the Patriots. Patriots always had a good defense. The defense is bad, actually.
Yep.
It's bad.
They got to put up points. They got to play. They got to put up points. Yep.
Yeah. Chris Jones is a freak. He's probably top 5, defenders in the league. But that's it. Outside of him, I mean, I can't name another player on their defense, which I don't follow them that well. But anyway, I just wanted to comment on that. But yeah, I obviously have the Bengals facing the Niners. I'm gonna go home team all the way, baby. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go home team. I think it'll be close. I think we're coming through team of destiny. Mm-hmm. I don't believe in that shit, but whatever. Joey B is ready to right the ship. Mm-hmm. We should have had it last year. We're about to get this one and start a real motherfucking dynasty.
Yeah,
I love it,
man. I love it too.
I hope that happens.
The way things are panning out, it's hard to take them. But like, dude, I think, like I said at the beginning of the podcast, we're looking at fucking like 3 teams on each side that realistically could that are like the upper echelon and stuff like that. In the AFC, man, like I could easily see the Bengals fucking coming out of it. I could see the Chiefs. I could see the Bills. And I do genuinely think that the Cincinnati Bengals are the best team. I think that it just came down to, early season, we got fucking Burrow coming off the injury and stuff like that. Fucking we started out 2-2. If it wasn't for that, we might be sitting in the first spot and we might have home field advantage, and that changes things drastically for me. But where I sit now, it's just what I have.
Well, if I may, where my thought process is, we went 10-7 last year, won the division, and we kind of we were hot, but we definitely, it was still kind of uncertain, we were starting to feel ourselves. And then we went ahead and beat everyone, and we're better than we were last year. Yeah. I would argue the Chiefs are worse than they were last year. They're still great. I don't think they're as good as they were. Allen isn't playing as good since he lost his head coach that went to the Giants, or not a head coach, but Brian Daboll went to the Giants. I think we are improved. They're all slightly a little bit less good. I think the only team, like I said, the only team that really scares me is the Niners.
Yeah. The one thing that I will say about that though is, the Bengals snuck up on people last year. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. They genuinely, teams were not ready for what we threw at them. We had a very talented team that they just didn't have figured out. And this year, I think that they do have them more figured out. But a testament to what you did say, I think that we're handling these games a little bit better. If you look at games down the stretch last year, they were really close games. And like my dad always says, he's like, they easily could have lost those games. And yeah, he's right. And we've had some like that this year. But I wouldn't say that we easily could have lost those games. It feels like we were in control of those games the whole time. But at the same time, now they have film on us. Now they know what's going on. Some of those fucking upper echelon teams might be able to pull that one out at the end. So, yeah. Anyone have any closing comments for this episode?
Who Day? I mean, I'm just looking forward to playoff football.
Yeah, regardless, fucking Who Day, baby. It's going down Sunday.
We have playoff football, and I have so much confidence in this Bengals team and just this organization with the coaching staff and Zach Taylor. I didn't know about him 3 years ago, and it's like now it's just to see where they're at. And what they've accomplished, they're in that, like, I'm not kind of like that mama mentality. You remember that interview that Kobe did after the game when they were up like 2-0, and the guy goes, "I'm still waiting for a smile from you, Kobe," and he goes, "Job's not done." That's kind of that. That's kind of where I feel like that's kind of where the Bengals are, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Job's not done. So I'm so looking forward to see where that takes us.
Yeah. Regardless, I'm pulling for him.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm with you there, man. I think it's a culture thing, and that's what's so cool to see. Like, because like you could talk about some of the worst cultures in the league. Cowboys, terrible.
Yep.
Yeah,
it's awful culture. I would hate to play there. New York Jets, Arizona Cardinals, those places. Like the culture is just bad. It's just bad leadership all the way throughout. The Bengals, they're all just like, it's like, dude, I could see them all sitting, having fucking game night, playing board games together.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that. Well, here's the thing too. I'm gonna kind of peg on what you just said there, man. Fucking historically, I have always said that fucking Cincinnati fans are the worst fans in fucking sports, and I still believe that to a degree. But I think that the Bengals are fucking, as a team right now, they're so willing to play for each other and they gel so well that we're starting to see a fucking change in like the city and the mentality behind us, because we finally have a team that's winning games, a team that can win fucking playoffs and stuff like that. And we're starting to get a couple bandwagoners in and stuff like that. I'm not really for that. I know a lot of people are, but it is what it is. But yeah, it's a completely different environment in Cincinnati right now with the Bengals.
And I feel like you're starting to kind of expand upon that. I feel like you're starting to see other cities, fan bases kind of like pull for the Bengals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Cool. You're starting to, like, if their team's not playing, but see, that's the thing, man. They like what they see. You know what I'm saying? They like to see that culture, and they're like, man, I really like the Bengals because of this, or this, and like the same reasons.
Dude, I
love that. Yeah. But see, like when Burfict and some of these other guys that were on the Bengals, Pac-Man Jones and shit, teams were like, oh my god, look at these guys. They would be like, they would say all kinds of shit about us. It's like we don't have that now. We have a culture that other cities and other fan bases can get behind, and I love that, because that just goes to show where we're at in the pecking order versus where we came from.
Right. I'm just a super loyal fan when it comes down to it and shit like that. And I don't, if you weren't sticking through it at the beginning in the 90s, early 2000s and stuff like that, I don't like to see people coming in and claim the fucking team and shit like that. I've always had my teams, and I'm a UK basketball fan, Ohio State football fan, and the Cincinnati Bengals NFL fan and stuff like that. And everyone's like, oh, well, Ohio State and UK, they all have a bunch of championships and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, but my dad put me on those when I was a kid. So if I'm a bandwagoner, or my dad was the bandwagoner, not me, if anything.
Right.
Yeah, so I don't know, man. Fucking, we got playoff football starts tomorrow. I'm about ready to get this bitch fucking cut up and sent out and uploaded to YouTube, man. Fucking, y'all have a great night. This has been episode 2 of Your House, Our Rules Sports Podcast. Peace.
Hey.